Alrighty. Okay, so today we are doing Maginyan, a humanized version. This is from Yokai Watch, and I don't really know anything about Yokai Watch, but my sister does. She really likes Yokai Watch, and so what she did is she interviewed me about it, just a fun little video. And as long as I've done everything correctly, you should be able to watch that video as well, like as long as I actually uploaded this on the right day. There will be a link to that somewhere, if you wanna see me make some guesses about Yokai Watch. But through that process, like through her little interview, I was introduced to Maginyan, and I think it's just super duper cute, and so I decided to draw her as a human. I really like witches, like witch kind of themes. I just think they're really fun, they're really cute, especially because, you know, like, I like Madoka Magica as well, and I just like magical girl kind of genre stuff, and witches tend to play a role in those pretty regularly. So it was a lot of fun having the excuse to get to draw a cute little witchy girl. For her pose, I kind of just wanted her to look like the little PNG of the actual like yokai. Like I didn't want to do anything too special or fancy with this one. Just wanted to design Maginyan as a human. And as always, you know, when you're interpreting a design like this, these ones tend to be pretty easy in my opinion. There's not too many difficult decisions you have to make when you're directly translating a character into a human form, especially when they're already wearing clothes like this. Like, I didn't have to interpret her like design into an outfit in any way because Maginyan wears clothes, so I could just put this girl into the same kind of dress that Maginyan wears. And so doing art projects like this, they're just nice, easy, fun things, you know? A lot of times art is like a puzzle, where you have to think about. There's just a lot of thinking involved when you're illustrating, considering composition and design and color usage and stuff. And sometimes you don't want to do all of that puzzle solving that goes along with art, and you kind of just want to have fun. And that's when doing fan art, I think, is a good choice. Like, I just want to draw a Pikachu, and then you just draw a Pikachu. And this is the most common way that I do that, is I want to draw this as a person, and that happens with Animal Crossing villagers a lot. Nowadays, Animal Crossing characters tend to just be, like, wearing a full outfit already. Like, you don't have to interpret anything to draw Flick or CJ. You just draw a person wearing Flick or CJ's clothes. And, you know, sometimes that can be boring, and other times it's just a nice, chill drawing time, and that's what Maginyan was like. The hardest part for her was figuring out what I wanted to do with her hair, because I knew of course I needed to give her the two tails that all the cat yokai have, but I also really wanted her to have big floofy hair, because I knew I wanted it to be yellow, or rather orange, like Maginyan's fur. And for some reason my preferred or go-to kind of style to do with redheads, like orange-haired characters like that, is just big volume. I don't know why. I think I'm gonna blame Miss Frizzle from the Magic School Bus, and maybe also Sarah Bellum from the Powerpuff Girls. But yeah, so I decided, you know, since this is kind of a little fantasy thing, she can have the big, poofy, like, voluminous hair, and then also just like two tail things kind of sticking out, you know? And sometimes you get to make easy decisions like, well, I'll just do it. And, you know, sometimes it doesn't always have to make sense. Like, this hair, this isn't anything. Having two long, weird strands of hair sticking out, like, no one's hair looks like that. And sometimes that's okay. Sometimes the goal isn't to render a realistic thing, but just to render a fun thing. I really like my line art for this one. This is another iteration. Also, fun fact, watch me struggle to make this line look smooth and good, actually. Finally. Oh, wait, not good enough? Okay, there we go. Yeah, I really like my line art from Maginyan. Since this was a pretty easy pose and everything, I also went with the, I give her dark black shading in the line art. That'll be the next step right here. And, you know, every time I do that, I think about, one, how much I'd like to make a coloring book. I don't know if anyone would actually want to color in my illustrations, but I think it'd be fun. But two, you know, it's the hard part, isn't it? I really like color. I feel like the use of color in an illustration is what really helps bring art to life. Color is an important part of making a piece look finished. But you know, sometimes you just like, I just like the line art a lot. I don't know, sometimes I get to the finished step of a picture and I look at it and I go, this looks nice, but I liked it more when it was just line art. And you know, sometimes you just feel lost about how you feel about that. I think there's of course value in both ways of having illustrations. Color and just line art. Like, they both look good, of course. I guess it kind of depends on what it is you want to achieve with your picture. I don't know. You may notice that I do all of this shading stuff by hand. Like, I'm not fill bucketing anything. I'm coloring in with my pencil tool all of the shading here. I like to do that because while it's a little bit of a pain in the ass to color in like big sections like her sleeves like this, I like it because it gives it like a nice texture. You know, it feels like it doesn't feel as manufactured. It feels more personal. Like you can see what my hand did. Like it feels more traditional that way, and traditional as in like on paper, like traditionally done as opposed to digitally done. It's actually something I noticed Shiro Miwa does, and if you don't know, if you're new to my channel, hi, welcome. Shiro Miwa is a mangaka and one of my favorite artists on planet Earth. He's great. But I notice he'll do that a lot. I think he works physically primarily, like traditionally, and then he'll scan things in. But he also works digitally as well, of course, and I just noticed that he does that for his shading sometimes, and it's always like hand done as well. I think he might just be used to working that way, and that's fine, but I noticed that it gave his art like a really real texture. It's hard to describe. But regardless, I didn't just decide, I'm gonna copy one of my favorite artists. But rather, I liked how it looked, you know? That's what you're doing as an artist, isn't it? You're seeing illustrations that you like, and learning how to emulate what you liked about it. I liked the texture that Shiro's art has, and learned how he did that. Yeah, the goal isn't to just copy Shiro Miwa. the goal was to learn how to be happy with my own art the same way how I'm happy looking at his. Don't feel like, you know, someone tries, if you do that, like let's say you learn how to draw exactly like Dragon Ball characters, and someone calls you out like, you're just copying Akira Toriyama's art style. That's kind of okay. Like, of course you can't, you know, don't just steal someone's art style, but also you can't put a patent on an art style. If you learn to draw by emulating Dragon Ball characters, you're still drawing it. You're just very good at being an Akira Toriyama dupe. You know, there's nothing wrong with multiple people drawing the same way. Like that's what styles are. You know, if you look on Twitter, you'll see tons of people illustrating in an anime style, with like elongated limbs and big eyes and, you know, anime looking. they're not stealing from each other. It's an art style, now isn't it? The only thing is, like, just some artists have a more identifiable art style. No one else really draws like how Akira Toriyama does. And so that's, you know, that's okay to take inspiration from an artist you like, and to try to learn how it is they do it. Of course, don't actually, like, trace their artwork, you know, and definitely don't try to, like, pretend to be them. Like, don't learn how to draw like Akira Toriyama and then say that you're making, like, that you are him. That'd be weird. Don't do that. But yeah, don't ever be afraid to try emulating your favorite artists to learn how to draw differently. Sometimes just drawing differently can help you learn how you do or do not like to illustrate. There's a challenge that you can do that you'll see sometimes on, like, Twitter and stuff, and it's, I draw my character as in a bunch of different art styles, you know? I think doing that is great. That little challenge is tons of fun, and it's a great learning tool. So yeah, never be afraid to change up your style. I understand feeling, like, proud of, well, my art's unique, no one else draws like me, and that's great, that's awesome. But there might be ways that you can also learn and grow and improve, you know? Don't be so married to having a unique art style that you limit your own growth as an artist. And of course, don't stress yourself out about having a unique art style. I have someone who I used to know back at college who, like, was really caught up in how her style looked. And she's a good artist. She's doing well now too as well. Like she's got her art in, like, shows and stuff. And that's great. But yeah, like, I never understood her mentality of, like, I'm studying how to change my style. And it's, I don't know, just, I feel like it's not useful to fret about how unique your style is. Cause also, I don't know, I feel as an artist it's helpful to have multiple different styles, multiple different ways you choose to illustrate. Cause you don't always want to draw the same thing over and over. I've got at least 2 different comics I'm kind of working on right now, and they look completely different from each other. I don't have to draw everything the same way every time, you know? And having a range can really help you out, to be able to illustrate more of what you like. But that's just my opinion. Sorry I didn't really talk about Maginyan that much. I kinda got wrapped up in giving you life advice. I hope you like this. I kind of want to dedicate this drawn out to my sister, because she interviewed me about Yokai Watch to celebrate our birth month. This is it, our birth month. Hooray! We're twins. that's why it's the same month. But it didn't end up talking about Yokai Watch or anything at all, this whole video. I guess I'll still dedicate it to her. Yeah, this one's for you, critter. I do really like Maginyan a lot. Like, I tried to look up trivia about Maginyan. Like, what can it do? You know, I checked out the Yokai Watch wiki, and just found nothing. I was so ready to have little fun facts to tell you all about Maginyan, and the only real fact I could find was that in Japanese her name is Nyan Maho, which is the sound that cats say. No, that's cat, isn't it? No, yeah, the sound that cats say, Nyan, and then magic. Like, its name is literally Magic Nyan. So a pretty literal translation. I couldn't find any other fun trivia about Maginyan, which, a bit of a bummer, but you know what? She still looks cute as a button. I still really, really dig this design, even if I don't have any fun trivia to throw your way. It was also really interesting trying to interpret Maginyan's face. I don't really draw very round eyes like that. But I felt it was important to really capture Maginyan's face accurately, which is also why she's got pretty pretty dark blushies there, because Maginyan has, like, illustrated on blushes. I think I did a great job, personally. I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I think this looks great. Also, you guys are gonna see some of my favorite brushes. I use these all the time. They're gonna be in the background, and they're just sparkles. Clip Studio Paint has a couple of different sparkle brushes. They're so fun, look at them! I love them, they're so great! And I use them all the time for my backgrounds. And I know that's kind of cheap to just be like, background equals sparkles for everything. Or blood splatters, depending on the tone. But I don't care. I think they're so much fun that I'll put them in the background of every single image I make. But anyway, yeah, I hope you had fun, and happy birthday to us.